A beautiful morning to you and welcome to today's edition of Good Morning Anambra. It's TGIF edition and it's a beautiful Friday morning. All right, we are kickstarting the show this morning with the stories trending on the national dailies and also ABS website. And we have reviewers with us in the studio this morning. But we are going to take a short break right now to help you prepare and sit tight for the program proper. When we come back, you will meet our guest this morning. My name is Chidima Oramwa. Stay with us. All right, you're welcome back to the show. And with us this morning in the studio are Ejike Abata. He's a public affairs analyst. Good morning and welcome to the show. We also have a comrade, Abuchi Omumele. Good morning, comrade.
Good morning, Anambra.
All right, so quickly, let's start with the stories on ABS website this morning. The very first story we have on ABS website, Anambra State government described as wicked killing of child by grandmother. Anambra PPSSC chairman Ike Diogo tasked teachers on dedication to duty. FRSC warns against a demonizing embalmment. PSN is told Saludo for reforming pharmaceutical sector. All right, these are the stories that are trending on ABS website this morning. Let's start with you, AGK. The first story there is talking about a killing of a child by a grandmother.
When the news broke, it was pathetic and a sorry sight to behold. One begins to imagine what transpired on the day, and it was a woman's effrontery for me. You know, whatever happened. The child was killed, you abandoned her in the bush, you now went back to her school to retrieve the school fees you paid for her. How can human beings behave at times? We wait for the real stories to unfold. The police say they are still investigating the matter. We would want to know what actually happened. What could the little girl have done that warrants the grandmother, as alleged, to punish her to the extent of taking her life? It's a sad story.
It's indeed a sad story. Okay, we also have stories there talking about FRSC warning against demonizing embalments.
Yeah. This is something that we say, people from this part of the world, we are used to attributing road crashes to demons and evil spirits, even though we are the cause of it. And I think I agree with the FRSC sector commander, Anambra State Command, and the FRSC all over Nigeria with the message and the warning that people should stop disease from demonizing embalmment. Truly, actually, the only problem we have is that this unbridled quest for materialism. You know, people will wait once from January to September, and they start thinking about making the money they couldn't make in January till August. Mm-hmm. They want to make it in the shortest period of time. They want to make it in that between December, so that they will go home and show off. So if not the haste and the mad rush for make it quick, the unbridled quest for materials, like I said, you want to drive the flashy cars, you want to get to the village and show them that you've arrived. If not all that, why would a driver, take for instance, a commercial vehicle, a commercial driver will load the vehicle to Brim, 18-seater bus. He will want to get to Onitsha within 5 minutes and come back to Awka again and pick people because you are in Ember Month. And when you tell them we are in Ember Month, and when something happens along the line, they will attribute it to a blood-sucking demon. I don't think I agree with them, even though there are some negative forces out there, but that should not be attributed to or in-season road crashes we are witnessing every Ember Month. So please, I want to join everyone to heed to the warning given by Anambra State Command, FRSC. So we should understand that there is no point rushing out. All you need to do, take your time and do whatever you want to do. In fact, before we were born, we've already designed on how best we can go, how far we can go in this life. It's only when you realize, it's about self-realization. If God decides that you'll be rich in your early 20s or in your late 30s, you will definitely be rich by then. But if God decides that your own will be at the older age, I've seen people who became rich men at the age of 70. That is when their luck decided to shine, when God decided to smile on them. So let us not think that by hustling, like the word will say, that the more you hustle, the more you are even getting yourself your necessary work taught, because riches are not by how much you struggle and how much you hustle for a particular thing. Once God decides that you will be rich and you get this, and that thing will come to you effortlessly. So I really want to commend FRSC. The warning they gave out this time is timely and apt.
All right, thank you so much, comrades, for that submission. All right, quickly, let's see what we have in front of the Daily Sun newspaper this morning. The banner headline there, Defense Headquarters reveals how train attack victims regained freedom. Buhari charges service chiefs to do more. Meet freed Abuja-Kaduna train attack passengers. Ohaneze to mobilize Igbo for 2023 census. Your vote to account, INEC assures electorate. Nigerians going through hell over economic hardship, Khan. Obajana, Kogi moves to recover cement company from Dangote. 2023 budget, Senate access MPA Customs, Nimasa and 7 others. APC rules out campaign, kicks off next week as Tinubu returns from London. Guards Brigade arrests 65 suspects over alleged plan to disrupt Independence anniversary. These are what's trending in front of the Daily Sun newspaper this morning.
The Defense Headquarters and how they went about releasing the remaining train victims. The story isn't yet clear to us. According to the director of media and Defense Headquarters, he said they employed a non-kinetic approach. He refused to give details. According to him, victims are still in hospital, and releasing the full details will cause much trauma to them. So for now, according to him, there's no reason for the rush. The important thing is that the persons have been released, which it's a good one. I'm happy that they've been released. They've been in captivity for, say, 6 months, even little children as young as 3-year-olds. So, and we thank God they all returned. And the good thing is none of them died while in captivity.
Yes,
all of them returned. So it's a good thing. Whichever means employed in their release, we wouldn't want to harp on it, but people would want to know, was there any form of exchange, say prisoner exchange? Was there any form of payment or of ransom? Okay. But the important thing is that they've been released.
Yeah, well, Daily Sun said we should read the rest of the story on pages 4 and 6 of their newspaper.
They didn't say anything about it.
Okay. All right, quickly, comrade.
Yes, I want to comment on the Ohaneze Ndigbo mobilizing Ndigbo for 2023 census. I don't think there's need for noise about this. In fact, that is the problem we have in this our southeastern Nigeria. We always try to preempt what we should do without noise. Some of those things you see people from the north, Afenifere, the southern or southwestern leaders, you see Arewa leaders, they will be doing their own, mobilizing their people without even, they will come out on pages of newspaper to talk about it. They must have gone far. Take for instance, registration of voters card. The results are everywhere. Now you've seen the number of persons that registered in the north, and here you are talking about things are no longer the way it used to be. The same way you are thinking that things are no longer, the same way your opponents are really mobilizing themselves and planning for any eventuality. But here we will first of all rush to the media to make noise. At the end of the day, we'll be doing little. So the kind of mobilization we are talking about, should you be on the pages of newspaper instead of not? Why not go to the grassroots? Why not start by mobilizing the people, organizing town hall meetings, and sensitizing them within your locality, within your community, instead of rushing to the, who are we trying to impress? We've done it over the years and it's not helping us. This is, in fact, the voters card registration is even a crying call for anybody, for any Igbo leader. We should know that those we are dealing with are actually, they are far ahead of us. Look at the result. The Kaduna, the number of persons registered in Kano and Kaduna alone, closely, in fact, in just few margins, you would have outnumbered the entire people registered in southeastern Nigeria. What are we? So you can see that there is no point making noise all over the media, the social media, whereas we are doing little on ground. So my call, or will I say, my suggestion to them is that they should, in fact, they should do more and talk less. Let's forget about coming to any newspaper stand to talk about how we will do this, whereas we've not done anything. No measures are being put in place. It's in fact, it's becoming a recurrent decimal, and it's high time we change our attitude. Let us talk less and take action.
All right, thank you so much for that. The next paper this morning is the National Star newspaper with the banner headline in front of the National Star: Wike to sign the listing of Omehia as Rivers ex-governor today, withdraws criminal charges against Amaechi Cole and others. Enemies within PDP will fail woefully, are you? And then I'll create a ministry to tackle insecurity, Peter Obi. A respite for APC as Tinubu returns from UK trip. Will blow up pipelines if ex-agitators warn federal government. Okay, if we don't even know the details of the story, but you can read that up on page 11 of the National Star newspaper this morning. All right, EGK.
The listing of Celestine Omehia, you know. Obulondi Igbo say na otoji mmadụ atọ another last. That was what played out between or what's playing out between Celestine Omehia, Wike and Amaechi. Wike had to draw Celestine closer when he was kicked out by the Supreme Court and Amaechi took over. And recognizing him, even when the Supreme Court has said he's not due, or he wasn't duly elected, recognizing him as an ex-governor gave him some privileges, some state privileges, including allowances. And today, because of the rift Wike is having with Atiku, seeing that Celestine Omehia is a staunch member of the Atiku camp, he has decided to delist him. So all the money you paid him the whole time he has, you recognize him using your state power, has gone down the drain. Whereas there are people, there are workers in River States that need, or that would have needed that money. But you decided to pay those monies to Celestine so as to spite Amaechi, who is no longer in PDP, is now an APC member. So certain actions that politicians take tend to backfire, because that is what is happening today. If peradventure they reconcile amongst themselves, Wike and Atiku, or Celestine decides to switch to Wike's camp, what would happen? Wike go ahead to recognize him again.
That's if he's still the governor.
That's if it might happen tomorrow.
Okay.
This is politics. It might happen even today. It might just, politicians can be funny at times. They might decide to be loyal to Wike, and Celestine. And so what will Wike do? Will he go ahead and recognize him again? So certain actions, they need to sit down and think things through before they say or do them. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, quite unfortunate. It's just about being like say, you are trying to kill a fly with a sledgehammer. One cannot be a judge in his own case. That's what is just really happening in Rivers State. It's quite unfortunate. It's quite sad that such politics is playing out when we know at the point of law that he is not recognized, and he went ahead to approve all his privileges and entitlements. And after some time, you came back again using the House of Assembly to ask him not to de-recognize and asking him to return all he has gathered, all he has benefited all this while. I think it's only in Nigeria you hear or see such things. It's really an anomaly, which if we look at it critically, the Supreme Court judgment should be interpreted again by asking Omeya to maintain the status quo. The status quo should be that you should not be recognized as a former governor of the Rivers State, and that should be whatever business you have with Wike is not our business. So if Wike decide that he should not be recognized, he shouldn't be Wike now, and he shouldn't be a Rivers State House of Assembly. Rather, we should make reference to what? Supreme Court judgment. That is it, because that supersedes every other thing. What we are doing today now is just, they are trying to while away time just to hit up the politics, which we know it is neither here nor there. The truth remains that the Supreme Court has given judgment, and so be it.
All right, viewers at home, just to let you know that you can be part of this discussion this morning. The line for you to call us is quite displayed in front of your TV set. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Tell us your name and your location.
Okay, I'm Michael from Mina, Niger State.
All right, go ahead, Michael.
I want to thank God for the gentleman in the house. With the woman too. I've been listening, and I feel I want to add my voice to what the other man said about Ohaneze. Honestly, sometimes when we are here, it grieves our heart to hear that we don't know much of politics in our area. How do you create the whole thing, the plans you have on ground? I'm trying to put the cat before the horse, which is very, very wrong. We just want to make empty noise, thinking that is the way we should go. We should have Ohaneze that will hold all their prison that nobody will hear, and it need to materialize. If you look at here, I'm saying with all boldness, when it is set in the house, in the mosque or somewhere, nobody comes out to say anything about it. So we see things materializing. When shall we have Ohanezes that are mature and are reasonable to represent people? Thank you. I raise my case here. Take the name of it on.
Thank you so much, Michael. All right, let's go back to the Punch newspaper this morning. PDP crisis. Agree with the governor's report article to BOT. List peace conditions. And we have writers there. Ex-VP reneged on post primary promise to Wike London deals. Wike moves against the Atiku's ally, the list Omehia as ex-governor. Atiku will shock Nigerians, win with a 7 million votes margin. Are you boast? And up there, federal government review rail security. Buhari meet freed hostages. Court rules on ASU's appeal out of court settlement fails. 82-year-old French writer wins Nobel Prize in Literature. And then we can see the picture of the APC flag bearer, presidential flag bearer, returning to Nigeria. Excitement as Tinubu returns from UK, prepares for campaign. Ogun tanker chased by miscreants explodes, 3 killed, 12 vehicles burned. Yeah, let's see who is here before we now go ahead with our discussion. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us your name and your location.
Ijeo from Gombe State.
All right, how are you doing this morning?
So thank the Lord is good.
Okay, go ahead with your submission. Ngwasuban.
Because the morning for the and the die. Man, I have that do well, Marita, Manahaka, Marita. But I know it is a people then Mahatalo, Mahatalo, Atomo, this is all on the other teacher. You know, I never want to that. How one Gani more no nine, my body mother now, who make it even the working people just give a knock on price. When I go along, get hatch of how much support or okay, Adamawa. And I one of her, I never meet the money in the email. When I want to be good neighbor, who you can now, why you know we get you to meet in your teaching in your number of Palombo. They meet you with the gas support in Adamawa. When I have that, Nanduga Marie. Manaka Marie, Kaidi Bokaina, Bokamaka, you say no why. No why, Kaidi would give a debate.
Oh, the ma. Dallery.
But the people will be like the low 1,000 much. What the people in the Indian? I put a guy here. Even the Indian had I but in the town all Jakarta Ferry to the Kaima. When I want to be on this, I want to try my friend people. Who are you going to put them away for a stick? I tell you, I made it. When I look at what you have to know, I bought a banana is now. And let our one for next hour will go on. Or you want to not feel, we got any.
Or Dallerin. I can get off from an author. All right, these are what we have in front of the Punch newspaper.
The rift in PDP, the BOT acting chairman, Wabara, led a 7-man delegation to go see Wike for peace talk. Part of those in the entourage was Ibrahim Idris, former governor of Kogi State, and Tanimu, former minister of special duties. So they went to Wike, and Wike listed some things, his grievances against IU, and the promises Atiku made to him. And he also stated that he's not interested in being the vice president because he had said that from the onset, and that he was asked to nominate somebody. He was given that privilege or honor, as it were, to nominate somebody, and then the person he nominated wasn't chosen. Rather, Atiku went ahead to choose Okowa. So, according to the report of what happened, the BOT members agreed that Wike has been angered and needs to be placated. On that premises, they promised to go back and sit with Atiku and look for a way to mend the fence between the two people. And Wike himself has said he will not leave the PDP, but nobody should mention him when it comes to campaigning for Atiku. He said he will not leave the PDP and he will not work for Atiku. And he has the backing of the other 5 state governors who are in his camp. By and large, this is really affecting the chances of the PDP because last week it was a report of members returning, NWC members returning millions of naira paid into their account. This week we are talking about we're continuing with the Wike and Atiku routes. And then campaign has started, and little or nothing has been done by the PDP. The APC said they will kickstart their campaign soon, since their leader, their flag bearer, is back. Let's see how this plays out. But if you ask me, the chances of PDP is very slim in this election, going by what is happening on ground.
On ground, all right. Let's quickly see what we have in front of Daily Independent newspaper this morning. Reps disagree with a Senate cut 2023 budget deficit by 800 billion naira. Raise oil revenue to 9.3 trillion naira. Retain exchange rate of 434.57 per dollar. Yeah, and then insistence on water resources bill, another federal government insensitivity, Afenifere. We can see up there few queues in Abuja caused by flooding in Kogi, NMDPRA. Strike, appeal court decides ASU's fate today. NDLEA gets court order to detain billionaire arrested with 8.8 billion naira tramadol. And Buhari makes case for return of stolen artifacts. Comrade, over to you.
Yeah, let me quickly talk about the FG, the fuel scarcity in FCT.
Yes.
And the blame game, which the present administration are known for, always shifting blame, always attributing their weaknesses or inability to provide basic amenities to certain issues. Some at a point they started attributing it to some forces best known to them. Even at a point they made mention of crocodile swallowing money and snakes and all that, even monkeys. Now they are talking about Kogi flood. It's only in this part of the world, or rather will I say in Nigeria, that once something happened, instead of the government to take responsibility, and some of the governors are even taking cue from what the FG are doing, what they are doing, because they are always trying to blame a particular thing for their inability to do the needful. So how can you tell us that first scarcity happened because of the flood in Kogi? So what measures have you been able to do what you are supposed to do in Kogi, which brought about the flooding in the first instance? So these are the things where areas when we look at ourselves, you ask yourself, are we really ready to provide leadership before venturing into leadership position? So many people are not ready. They just want to answer, I am the chairman of a particular organization, I am president, I am governor, without any plans, without passion for it. If you have passion for something, you'll be ready for any eventualities at every given time. You'll be ready to forestall a future occurrence once something happened, something that are beyond your control. But this issue of flooding is actually not beyond the control of the federal government of Nigeria, because it's a yearly what? A yearly occurrence. Mm-hmm. So how can you tell us that Kogi flooding was the reason why there is fuel scarcity in the capital of Nigeria? Imagine, these are the things we get to talk about in our daily existential struggle, where people are dying of starvation, of hunger, economic hardship, and now you are trying to tell them that the issue of why they are suffering on those hardship you bequeathed on them was as a result of flooding in Kogi. What are we doing in this country? So I'm calling on the federal government of Nigeria to please disabuse their mind from this idea of trading blames at every given time. Before, they used to blame past administration for their inability to provide anything good in Nigeria. Today we are talking about flooding. Please, I'm begging. People are suffering. Do not add to our suffering. No, or it is becoming so much. People are dying on a daily basis out of starvation, out of lack of job, out of hardship. So many things are happening, and now flooding again. People will lose their properties. The little they've gathered over the years will go down the drain. And here we talk about having a government in place. We need a human-faced government. That is why in 2023 election, I'm appealing to everyone, political class, economic class, everyone, the youth, the women, please use your conscience, vote wisely. Vote for somebody you know that will give you that thing that you want. In fact, don't look at money. Even if they give you that money, take the money and do what? And vote according to your conscience.
All right, thank you so much. Next paper this morning is the This Day newspaper. The banner headline, Buhari meets 23 freed Kaduna train victims, charges service chiefs to replicate a success. And then riders there appreciate military for bravery, least unprecedented acquisition of military platform, hardware in 7 years, says he inherited nation at crossroads with bombs going off at frightening frequency, even in cities. Bajabia Mila commends federal government and armed forces. Khan hails president security agencies over release. Military vows to track down train bombers. And then we can see the picture of the president meeting the victims. He was there holding a child. The nation feels your pain. That's the caption there. Then up there you can see Dangote cement closure. Manufacturing Association of Nigeria berates Kogi government, says action illegitimate anti-business. State no payment was paid, vows to recover company. CBN 2.10 trillion naira disbursed to 426 projects under rail sector facility.
Yes, as regards the release victims, prior to this time, we've had family members going to protest at Ministry of Transportation. Some persons even paid ransom and all whatnot. Commending the military, like I mentioned earlier, in what sense, you know, even we are happy that these persons have been released, but our curiosity out of curiosity, we always want to know what transpired. And if you recall, they even had a committee, a presidential committee, which involved civilians in the rescue, in the release, because the reports we're having is not that they were rescued; they were rather released. But going forward, how do we secure the rail lines? Wouldn't there be a recurrence? What measures do they intend to put in place so that we don't have such experiences again? People would have the confidence to go back and then board trains? And what security measures, what are their plans? In what way do they intend to reassure people that this is what we intend to do and this is what we are doing, so that they will be able to go back and make use of the rails again? It's scary for somebody to leave his place of abode and going to another place, and the people that he is leaving behind, or the people who await his arrival, have their hearts in their mouths, not knowing what will happen along the road. So they need that reassurance. They need the citizens need to be assured that such will not happen again. And where it happens, there should be things should be done faster to secure their release.
All right. The Nation newspaper is next this morning. Buhari military replicate northeast feat nationwide. And then we have riders on the Rita. President visit rescued train victims. Train services in Abuja, Kaduna route return soon. Lai Mohammed, PDP clash over corruption claim. Leopard can change its scheme. 2023 budget, reps okay 8.437 trillion naira new borrowing plan. Ethiopia suspend visa on arrival policy. And then we can still see there, Ngige accuses Jega of bias in federal government ASU face off.
In fact, this the issue of ASU and federal government of Nigeria, I think that issue has been overflowed in the sense that it is doing nobody any good. Talking about the ASU leadership, talking about the FG, and talking about those at the receiving end, that is the students. Because at the end of it all, you find out that some of these men that are doing this fight, either for the ASU or against, they are all made men. Are you getting me? You know what I'm talking about. Most of them They don't have their kids here. And most of them have grown out childbearing stage. They've trained all their children. And now they are the people administering your affairs. So they don't give a hoot of how you feel, how poor parents feel at home. That is an insensitivity on the part of FG for not trying to obey the agreement to carry out the agreement they had with ASUU in 2009, and subsequently the follow-up other promises made to them. But on the side of ASUU too, there are some level of insensitivity from the leaders too. Talking about these children that are at home, you're fighting for how to make the university a better living place, which we know, but at the same time, the students are whiling away, going into all manner of crimes. Go to the town, you see that most of the crimes that are committed are people of that age. Those who would have been busy in the school, they are going there, going into pickpocketing, going into armed robbery. Some of them are into prostitution. In fact, the climax is the women amongst them, which if I should tell you what they do, I wouldn't want to say this because I want to tell you that most of them are being endangered in such a way that they are into what they've never planned for themselves. The society we abused or we are abusing have subjected them into abject penury, which forces them into prostitution. Go every movement you see here and there, mostly at night. Go and see young ladies moving about. Some of them are not even at home because they want to. They are even the providers in the home because they want to provide for their parents too. And nobody asks them, what is your source of income? How do you make a living? Women are really trading themselves. Let me say this: I should know that our ladies are going into prostitution because of this incident strike, because the strike is becoming so much that if we fail to speak about the attendant ills that are following off from this continued strike, our girls are going into prostitution, our guys, our boys are going into armed robbery. Some of them are pregnant, some of them are getting into the wrong hands. Men are taking advantage of them, promising them marriage, telling them that they should stop schooling, that after giving birth that they will be settled, and at the end of the day they will be pushed out. These are the things. Is it the kind of models we want to see in the next 20 to 30 years? All right.
What other means would you have suggested for us to employ?
Yes, what I've always said is that when, just like the Igbo adage says that, that is they used to say it. Instead of allowing the cow to run away from you, you can even cut the tail. The tail alone will serve as a symbol of effort made. So what I'm saying is that they should kind of rescind their decision, waiting for the AG to give them outright payment of the entitlement. It might not be possible at this present economic situation. But I'm saying that if there is any reasonable offer, they should take it and go back to classroom.
All right. Quickly, let's see what we have in the remaining papers this morning. We have 3 papers remaining, and we are going to take 3 of them together, starting from the Guardian newspaper. Tinubu returns, Obi in Harvard. PDP seeks urgent solutions to crisis. And then we have the Riders on the Rita. Tinubu to address APC campaign crisis. Rivers Assembly recognizes Atiku's ally Umehia as former governor. Atiku will win by 7 million vote margin, Ayu boast. Despite multiple checkpoints in Semerut, many travel out of Nigeria illegally. Then up there we can still see hunger, major cause of insecurity, says Afe Babalola. Quickly, let's see what we have in the next paper this morning. That is the Daily Trust newspaper. 13 dead, 12 missing in Zamfara, Kenu mishap. Discordant tunes over selling of Dangote cement in Kogi. Meningitis kills 56 in 32 state FCT. Navy seeks partnership with the Media Trust. NGX Group appointed Ogwa Iringa as chairman. And then finally, the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Twists and turns in Wike's Rivers. Assembly recognizes Umehia as ex-governor. Why I want to be Alafin at 84, Archbishop Ladigbolu. 14 days after leaving for UK, Tinubu returns to Nigeria. Then we see there, 2023 budget estimates, reps approve 19.76 trillion naira total expenditure, 8.437 trillion new borrowings. All right.
With respect to the person of Professor Afe Babalola, he said hunger is the major cause of insecurity. I disagree with him. I disagree in the sense that hunger is not the major cause. The major cause of insecurity for me is, I respect his opinion of course, but the major cause of insecurity for me is orientation. That is a reason why people decide to put other people at risk. We've lost our values, we've lost our morals. That's why things are happening the way they are. Everybody is hungry. Nobody, in fact, the reason why people decide to cause harm is as a result of man's insatiable wants. If you have self-control and you are contented with what you have, you wouldn't seek to forcefully take what belongs to another person. If it's hunger that causes insecurity, why the same measure of strength that they put into causing insecurity should also be applied in doing something legal for themselves so as to be able to feed. So I do not think it's insecurity, it's hunger.
But you don't think it's maybe one of the factors?
It may be one of the factors, but not. It's even down the ladder.
All right, comrade.
Yeah, I think I shared his sentiments. It's really with suggestions or contributions are quite, but I want to move away a little bit from the present discussion or topic. There is something that struck me while we were discussing the arrival of the presidential candidate.
Yes,
APC. I think we should comment on that.
Okay, go ahead.
In my own opinion, I don't think there is need for fanfare like the Punch newspaper reported. There is fanfare, statements about what is even good about somebody, a presidential candidate, leaving his country, going to another country to seek medical help, coming back. What are we rejoicing? These are the things we should talk about. Is it the type of Nigeria we want in the next 5 to 10 years? Will we continue to junket all over the place, medical tourism? Is that what we're talking about? This issue should not be celebrated at all. And now they gave it a front page headline that Tinubu arrives and people are rejoicing. Who are those people rejoicing? You and I are here talking about how to even feed 1 square meal, 1 course meal now. For you to provide yourself 1 course meal is a problem. Not talk about 2 course meal. So these are the things Nigerians are not even giving to some of these rhetorics and hula baloo they are presenting there. Let us look at the issue critically. Why should we even be going to abroad for seeking for medical help? That should be the question.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Your name and your location.
Yeah, Christopher, I'm calling from Taraba.
All right, quickly, Christopher.
So I just want to comment a bit concerning this ASU and the federal government impasse.
Okay.
See, one of the speakers there spoke about the issue, and I want to say that actually ASU is not to be blamed for all of this.
Okay.
Because if the government was to be serious about ending this strike, they are supposed to come up with reasonable offer. There's supposed to be some kind of commitment for ASU to take to their members so that the strike can be called off. As it stands today, there is no commitment on the part of government. The last strike that ASU went in 2020, as the federal government came up with something reasonable, paid some amount of that, what they call end allowance, and also resolve some issues. But for now, nothing has been placed on the table. So you cannot keep blaming ASU for the strike today, strike tomorrow. The government should be blamed. We should continue telling the government to do the needful.
All right.
Then the strike will be called off.
Thank you so much for your contributions this morning. Well, on that note, we want to say a very big thank you to both of you. Ejike Abata, thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And also Kamrid Abuchi Omumelu, thank you so much this morning for being part of Press Review.
Thank you, Dima.
All right, I don't know why you are smiling now. Well, that's it on the Press Review this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back shortly.